My name is Stella, and I'm 20 years old. I grew up in Austin, Texas, in a simple family that taught me the value of respect and caution. My mother often warned me never to trust people too quickly, saying that some mistakes leave marks that never fade. But I was young and foolish, and I didn't listen. I made a choice that would haunt me for years to come. We had a helper at our house named Brandon. He was 23, good-looking, and always kind to everyone. He took care of the garden and helped around the house. There was something sad in his eyes, like he carried old pain inside him. I noticed he looked at me often, but I thought nothing of it at first. Everything changed one afternoon when I came home from college. I went to my room to change and forgot to close the door completely. When I looked up, Brandon was standing there, watching me. I felt deeply ashamed but said nothing. I don't know why I stayed silent. Perhaps I was scared, or maybe just confused. He smiled strangely and laughed as if it meant nothing. But from that moment, something shifted inside me. After that day, we began talking in secret. He gave me attention I had never felt before. He told me I was beautiful, and I believed it was love. I was so wrong. He said things like, "I know I'm not from your world, but love doesn't care about status." We laughed together. We shared meals when my family was out. For the first time, I felt seen and special. Then, one night, when everyone was asleep, Brandon came to my room. I made the worst mistake of my life. In that moment of weakness, I trusted him completely. He recorded everything, saying it was just for memories, something we would smile about one day. I believed him because I thought his love was real. I didn't know he was playing a cruel game with my heart. A few days later, Brandon disappeared without a word. He simply left. I couldn't eat or sleep. My parents wondered where he had gone, thinking he was a good person. They had no idea what kind of man he truly was. I cried every night, remembering what I had lost and could never get back. My heart was shattered, and fear consumed me. I kept the secret for as long as I could, but the weight became unbearable. Finally, I told my mother everything. I broke down, admitting my mistake and how Brandon had used me. I expected anger or disappointment, but instead, my mother held me close. "Stella," she said softly, "you're not a bad person. We all make mistakes when we're young. What matters is that you recognize it and want to become better. This isn't the end of your story." Her words gave me strength. I decided to leave my past behind and start fresh. I found a job at a small company and threw myself into my work. One day, a wealthy businessman named Mr. Smith visited our office. His company's website had crashed, and no one could fix it. Everyone panicked, but I sat down and solved the problem in 30 minutes. Mr. Smith was amazed and asked how I had done it so quickly. I smiled and told him I was simply good at what I did. Later that day, Mr. Smith invited me to a celebration party. I hesitated, explaining that I was a simple person who didn't feel comfortable at such events. But he insisted, saying he wanted to honor me publicly for my help. His kindness convinced me to go. When I arrived at the party, I felt nervous as people turned to look at me. Mr. Smith greeted me warmly, saying how happy he was that I came. Then I noticed a man across the room staring at me. I felt uncomfortable and moved away. A few minutes later, Mr. Smith approached with that same man. "Stella, this is my son Cillian," he said. I was surprised. Cillian greeted me kindly, and there was something gentle in his eyes that made me feel safe. For the first time in a long while, I felt peace. Cillian and I began spending time together. He was different from anyone I had known. One day, he told me he wanted to marry me. My heart filled with joy, and I said yes. My parents were thrilled, but beneath my happiness, fear lingered. What if he discovered my past? Would he still love me then? On our wedding night, Cillian took my hand and looked into my eyes. "Stella, I want to be honest with you," he said. "I've made mistakes before. I've been with other women, but now I only want you. Please forgive anything I did in the past." His honesty touched me deeply, but when he asked if I had loved anyone before him, I froze. My heart pounded. "Please don't ask about my past," I whispered. "It's over. I only want a future with you." That night, he didn't push further. He simply held me and said we would face tomorrow together. But I couldn't sleep. The secret felt like a stone in my chest. Days later, while Cillian and I sat in a park, I saw Brandon. Our eyes met, and I felt the world stop. I quickly suggested we leave, making an excuse about being hungry. Brandon smiled that same cruel smile as we walked away. I knew this wasn't over. The next morning, as I made coffee, Cillian sat in the living room looking at his phone with a shocked expression. "What's wrong?" I asked nervously. He turned the screen toward me. Brandon had posted that old video and photos online. My hands trembled. My heart stopped. "Stella, what is this?" Cillian asked, his voice filled with pain. Tears streamed down my face. "Cillian, please understand," I begged. I was young and foolish. He played with my feelings. I didn't know what he was doing. Cillian stayed quiet for a long moment, and I thought I had lost him. Then he spoke. "I was honest with you on our wedding night, Stella. I shared my past with you, but you kept yours hidden. I was afraid," I cried. "If I had told you then, you might not have loved me. You might not have respected me." I was ashamed, but I'm not that girl anymore. I understand love now, and I give you my whole heart. Cillian held my hand gently. "Everyone makes mistakes," he said. "I wanted to know your past, but it doesn't change how I feel. I love who you are now, not who you were before." His forgiveness broke and healed me at the same time. My husband loved me despite my flaws, despite my mistakes. He saw the person I had become, not the scared girl I once was. Today I live in London with Cillian and our son Edward. We have built a life on love, trust, and honesty. I learned that not every sweet word from a man is real. Some people only want what they can take, not what they can give. But God will send you someone who truly loves you, someone who sees your worth and respects you completely. When you find that person, give them all your love, because they are a blessing. A true partner will never betray you. They will stand beside you even when your past tries to destroy your future.